All right. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Seth and, of course, Dr. Mick, and we are here to bring you steps and how to align with your goals. That was the workshop that we're choosing to put on. This is a great time to put it on because we're now at the end of January when most resolutions and goals are forgotten about by now.
All in the dumpster.
All in the dumpster. And we are here to just guide you into a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching your goals, and really making them real. And Dr. Mick has a lot of great advice and tools for us to do just that. So what
Awesome.
you got?
And what's it called? Align with your goals. And I love the word align because it means to be in a line, to be in one line.
Yes.
And this is true, whether we're talking about supernatural things here or to be in one line. And I don't know, the chiropractic alignment seems to be part of my game. So
it seems to be.
Seems to be a big piece of it.
Oh, yes.
All right, cool. So Steph, you going to start out here?
Yes, so I was just in preparation for this class. I was looking up different statistics on goals and how most people don't have goals. They maybe have aspirations or things they want to be. Like they say, I want to be healthy, I want to be rich, I want to be all these things, right? Which just keeps it
to be.
Yeah, it's wanting, it's without, it's very vague, and we kind of just stop there most of the time. Most people just are like, I want this, but it's going to be too much effort, too much something, too much out of my comfort zone. So we just never move forward. So of course, a huge step in achieving our goals is to write them down, make them real, have accountability with those goals from ourselves and with others, our community. And but first, one of the best tools that I know that I learned from Dr. Mick is to make it real here first. And we can do that by using an amazing tool that we are gifted, which is our imagination. So can you go into a little bit more about imagination activation and how we can use that tool to align with our goals?
It's a huge tool in my coaching, and it's made a very big difference for me. So, and we get this idea from a guy by the name of Neville, who chose to be remembered for this very tool. He said, I choose to be remembered for giving people the gift of pruning shears of revision. So, and he's very specific on how to do it and how we can create our new reality, because we're going to start at a point here that remembering something very powerful, which is my word becomes flesh. I have a powerful thing. I'm only justified or condemned by one thing, what I said.
Yes.
Nothing, not what I did, what I said. So when I'm speaking about my goals or my desires or my outcomes, it's very important to be very careful and very specific, and to come from a place not imagining about a goal or a dream, but to imagine from the dream already completed. This is a very big difference.
Yeah, can you go into that a little bit more?
Yes.
Sometimes that's even like
right. And then as we imagine in our dream already completed, we can create our habits. And James Clear said something brilliant. He said, we don't rise to our goals, we fall to our habits.
Yes.
So what is it that I may be going on that is actually self-sabotaging my desire, my dream, my highest outcome? And I believe that in my heart, and when I'm in love and I'm dreaming, that my goals are already in perfect alignment with God.
Yes.
I don't have to go check with anyone.
Yes.
To see if it's approved. If it's something you love and care about, God loves and cares about.
Yes. And that's a beautiful thing, because I see a pattern a lot of the times with myself and with others or friends or people I'm helping, is that we are seeking permission outside of ourselves to give ourselves those things. And
beautiful, or worse, we're seeking permission from our five senses.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my five senses, what I can see, touch, taste, hear, smell, it's never going to confirm me in my dreams. Matter of fact, just the opposite. It will
Yes.
always talk me out of my dreams. And we we see Jesus demonstrating this law very clearly in almost every interaction he has with people. All
Yes.
right,
I know
whether
you've been
it's his,
talking about this a lot as you've
yeah,
been diving
his,
into Neville's work. So give us some examples.
well, his first miracle, turn water to wine, his mother was suggesting lack. And he says to her, Mother, what am to do with these? And she was saying they're out of wine. And I guess the party's, gonna suck now. I'm paraphrasing. And Jesus rebuked her, his own mom. So, and he says, Mother, what am I to do with thee? Bring the jugs and fill them. And he gives another example when the disciples were suggesting, well, you're saying the harvest isn't going to be for 4 months. He said the fields are white with harvest. So he was always in his outcome now.
Yes.
All right. So that's a tool for us that we can use in how we direct the outcomes of our life. Because if I'm going to wait for my five senses to confirm me, it's never going to happen.
Absolutely.
What my bank account says, what my friends say, well, there, it's never going to confirm me. So I can create a new outcome in my imagination, right? Which I like how Bob says is imagine I'm a genie, right? So to speak, I have this kind of authority in my life, especially in any time it comes to lack. All right. If lack is showing up, I'm in a dual system. I'm in poor, rich.
Yeah.
I'm in hot, cold. I'm in good, bad. I'm in right, wrong, positive, negative.
Polarity.
All duality. And if I'm living in a dual system, I can't have it on earth as it is in heaven.
Yes.
Okay, so that's okay. I wake up to that law. And the duality thing's not particularly wrong, but it's always going to have me operating less than my full measure.
Yes.
Less than my full anointing. Less than who I really am. I'm made in the image of God. I'm as imagined by God. All right. So the question comes, well, how did he imagine me? A turd?
No.
No. Wise, noble, loving, and a son that he's proud of. All right. That's how he imagines me. And he's all those things towards me, even when I'm not. So that's love.
Yes.
Right. So I have God's love already inside me right here, right now. And I can take that and I can apply it to my dreams. And is this an abundance message? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, that's just it. When I hear you talk about imagination to me is abundance.
Well, there's nothing on the planet outside of what God made that didn't come out of someone's imagination first. Everything. Consciousness creates my reality.
Yes. Yes.
So we can see people that have completely different reactions to the same event. So clearly there are different consciousnesses in operation.
Yes.
So our habits, we'll talk about those after we talk about imagination. So I'll give some examples of how I use the tool, particularly in healing world, when it comes to health, is imagining our outcome already done. So I might say something along the lines of, okay, you are receiving confirmation that your miracle has occurred. So we're going to go into some future point here.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to pretend it's now. So I've asked patients about this, and particularly in the healing, okay, now that you are receiving confirmation that your cancer is gone, you are, I don't want to say cancer free, but you are in full health.
Yes.
Not in remission, in full health and function. Cool. How are you receiving the information? And they might say it's from a doctor or whoever it is, whatever they imagine. None of it's wrong. Right. So how are you getting? I'm getting a phone call. Cool. What are they saying? They're saying, we run the test, everything is clear. Cool. How do I feel? And we name the feelings.
That's
Joy,
the huge important
happy.
part.
Yes, very huge important, because that which is decreed in specificity and deep feeling manifests very fast.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. And so cool. You're receiving confirmation. What's the doctor say? All right. You hang up the phone. What's your husband say? What's your wife say? Right. You hear these saying, what kind of texts are you getting? All right. What's the temperature in the room? What room are you in? Are you outside? Where are you?
Yeah.
What are you wearing? And to stay in these things vividly and specifically in my miracle already done, and any five senses thoughts that try to come in to say, we gently rebuke them. We don't make them wrong, right? We can't avoid them.
Yes.
We acknowledge them.
It's cool because,
there's a little part of me that's still afraid, and that's okay. There's a little part of me that says, I still have this pain.
Yes.
And it's okay. I'm in my imagination and I stay in it, and it's going to require my big mustard seed of faith to do it. But as I do this and I stay in my imagination, this is what manifests. And Neville will say he's never saw it take more longer than 3 days. If it's taken longer than 3 days, you're slowing it down. Wow. Cool.
Yes.
So
and we can get confirmation on the outer of the inner in smaller things like that just show us how real this is, right? Like when how many times have you thought of somebody and then they give you a phone call? How many times have you
yes.
been like, okay, where's this person? And then they show up the next day, right? That happens to me in the office all the time. And that's just one example of how here first, knowing like, oh, I remember my interactions with these people. I love my interactions with these people. Boom, here they are, right? And so that's just one example of how we already use that and how we can see these pockets of that in our life and now make it bigger, make it real. And it's so cool you talking about five senses is like we look for confirmation with our five senses, but when we imagine first what we will experience with our five senses, boom.
Very well. The outer cannot confirm me. It's an inside job first.
Yes.
Then my outer shows up.
Yes.
Signs and wonders follow. Okay, not before.
Yes. So cool.
So I know we like to have signs and wonders before, but no, they follow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, show me a sign.
I had a lady do that on cancer, and she imagined it completely. And I don't want to give away, but her eye movements, the cool thing about her eye movements is I could tell she was accessing memory. So she was remembering her miracle already done. She wasn't creating it.
Yes. Oh, how cool.
That's yes.
Well,
to
that's
remember.
like, it goes back into the talk I was having last week, talking about the polarity and duality and remembering. Because in this world, when we are suffering and we aspire to all these other things, mostly from suffering, because I'm suffering in the state I'm in now, I aspire to be different. I want to change. I want, all of that operation, low operating stuff. It's so cool because we get to first make it real and then remember. And when in conscious language, remembering is to make one again, to be all one.
Yeah, I love that because we can wake up to this amazing power that we've been gifted because of how we're made, how we were created, and we can make this life, my life, exactly the way I love it.
Yes.
And when I do that, my world comes with me.
Yes.
Is it selfish? Maybe. Are there any other people on the planet really? No, it's just me. Everyone else is just reflecting back to me what's operating in me.
Yeah.
That could be true.
Oh, yeah. And
it seems so real. I know. I know.
I know too.
Yeah. So imagination activating is one, you want to be in a relaxed position and you're going to name your tune, whatever the tune is. whatever it is about my divine partnership, my marriage, or my kids, or my career, my vocation, my avocation, my hobbies. So I can name the tunes. What is it do you really choose to have as an outcome? And it has to be specific. It can't be like more this or less of that or any of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That's vague. It has to be, I want to make more money this year. Well, if you made $1 more, that's more money this year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so we can be specific, and the more outlandish it is, better.
Yes. One
Because
thing
your
I've,
five senses are going to be like, you're crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
One thing I've learned from my coaching, especially with setting goals, is if it scares you, that's cool. If it excites you, that's cool. But if it scares you and excites you, that's it. Like,
Oh, yeah, you're in it. Yeah. And it's okay. The scare part is that's just telling me what? Oh, remember my faith. Remember my
Mhm.
faith. That's all fear is a signal of. I have fear going on about this. Cool. My miracle's already done.
Yeah.
Everything I love is already fully funded.
Yes. Because how many times have you operated out of fear in the past? And where has it gotten you? Has it gotten you those goals?
You got me the exact opposite of what I really choose.
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
I stay in my fear,
Mhm.
if I stay in my lack, I'll die in it.
Yes. Well,
Jesus taught.
we choose abundance.
Yeah.
We choose faith.
Yeah. So choose is a transition statement. You're not wrong. It's just, it's not quite here yet.
Okay.
It's process. So what's really true? I already have my abundance with me. God inside me right here. Is God abundant? Yes. So who do I have access to? All abundance. And abundance isn't a dollar sign. All right. Wealth is much more than money.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great way to put it too, because a lot of times, especially in the church too, is like we see God outside of ourselves. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. Everything, we perceive as outside of us when truly it's in us.
Yes.
And
The illusion would have me thinking God's not here right now in me. Some God in the sky.
right.
Or some devil who's going to get me.
Right.
Okay. Not
All
wrong,
an illusion.
but we're past all that.
Yes, we are.
Well, if there's
That's
the devil,
awesome.
it was me and it came out of my mouth.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man.
So a big imagination activation for me was when Tracy was going to experience her second kidney transplant. And my coach helped me remember my purpose in all this and what I'm here to and what I've agreed to. And, now that Tracy has had her kidney transplant, what's new and different for me? And I could name all the tunes of what I like. I just stayed in that, and it happened very fast within 6 months.
Yes. I
And
remember.
at a time when I said that, she was too sick to be on the transplant list. When I took off all the pressure of making it wrong and what's going to happen to me if she leaves the planet, when I was able to finally speak what's true, which is God has her, God has me, God has my family, everything would be okay. I'll be okay if that happens. When I took the charge off and took the pressure off, I came back into alignment and trusting God versus having her situation, her health situation, have me up in knots.
Yes.
I desire for her to stay. And if she leaves, that's between her and God. She belongs to God.
Yes. Ugh.
Yeah, and I remember when I said that, man, that was a big parting of the sky, parting of the clouds for me. I got back into alignment about it. I came out of this codependent model of, oh, she's my everything and all these things. God doesn't play in any of that. I have no power in it.
Right.
It's just hard.
Yes.
Not punished for it. I just not in my authority about it.
Yes. I mean, it's hard.
So as I imagined our outcome and those things, they manifested and I stayed in it. And I got a couple of challenges to try to pull me out of it. And it's okay. I even took the bait a little bit. I just get right back in.
Yeah.
Go again. Go
Yeah.
again. Go again.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Just like
I never made me wrong
yeah.
or sweated me about the sin that I was in. It was always go again. You can do this.
Yes. And it gets more graceful and a little bit easier every time we do that. Every time we choose to get back in.
Yeah, grace is an ever expanding power. The more I receive, the more I get.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that.
Ooh.
That's been
How do you know it's grace?
that's a good question.
You didn't do anything.
Ah,
I did absolutely nothing to get it. It's like a check that shows up in the mail. What's this for?
right. Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm gonna view grace.
Grace. Take the grace, man.
Yes.
Always. And when I give grace to me, everyone around me receives grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very common thing I discuss with my patients, you know, when we're in those moments of like downward spiraling into our illusion, is if this was a friend of yours going through this, what would you tell them? What would you give them in a way is grace and understanding.
Yeah, beautiful. Right.
So you can give that to yourself too.
Yeah, starts with me. I can't give what I don't have.
Yes.
So when I give me grace, when I give me love, when I give me faith, seems to show up on my outer. Signs and wonders follow.
Yes.
But I go first.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be the second man into the pool at Bethesda. I got to be the first one in. No one could do it for me.
Yes. And that beautifully translates into our goals, is we are the sole proprietors of what we choose to see in this life. And we see it here first in our imagination, with these tools that you just talked about. And then we can bring them out into the world. And so bringing them out into the world looks differently for everyone. It can be voicing it. It can be writing it down. All of those things are better to do them all.
And it's an okay too, because remember, there's a long time there when I couldn't really name my goals. I couldn't name my outcomes. Because when I'd right and wronged myself into a place, it's difficult to see beyond my five senses.
Yes.
Almost impossible. Difficult to even hear or imagine love as it comes in.
So how do you get out of right and wrong?
Cool. Well, one, I make it 100% okay that what I desire and dream about, God's a full yes to. He's a full yes to everything I say.
Yes.
If I say, if so, someone or someone says, my life sucks, it's true.
Yes.
It becomes true. Because what comes out of my mouth is the most powerful tool I have. It's my spoken word becomes flesh. I shall decree a thing and it shall be added unto me. I'm only justified or condemned by one thing, my words.
Yes.
So what have I been saying? So in my work, in our tools and consciousness, it's about waking up what's really true and who I really am and what I already really have, and waking up my faith, my joy, my authority, my love. So sometimes people need a little help just getting to the place of naming the tune, naming the goals.
Yes.
And the first one is a very good, honest, hard look at yourself, not in right or wrong.
Just what is and what is not.
Yeah.
What is true and what is not.
Yeah, I'm really great. It's all these other people that have been the problem. I know that one.
Uh-huh.
So if we could just get rid of these other people, God, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's not true. Yeah, whatever it is you're trying to get rid of is the thing you're here to love and raise.
That's
to
it.
Resurrect.
That's it. That goes back to exactly what you've said since you started this. Our greatest perceived weakness becomes our greatest strength.
we get honest about some of the choices we made, and most of them we made from 4 to 8 years old, a little kid who got hurt and didn't know what to do, and I was still operating on that.
Yeah. Mm.
Not wrong, just trying to protect me.
Yep.
But if I try to save my own life, I lose it. So I can come back into what's true, who I really am, the big part of me. And that's the first step, is waking up to the big part of us. 2, naming specifically what it is, our outcome. And then 3, really detach, which is it's already done. Why would I be discussing that with you? It's already done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Detach from the how?
Oh, good question.
Okay.
Now, how is where we get in trouble?
Because that's like where I found myself get stuck in the past, is like, but how?
I name my desires and God orders my steps. Okay, so I name the how, or I name the what. God takes care of the how. And this is very important. And this is going to require my mustard seed here.
Yes.
Because I have some framework of how, like, we're going to market, or we're going to do this in my business and in your business, and we're going to do these things. That's cool. But the grace part is the surprises, wow, man, I almost thought we weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Those moments that really excite me and turn me on, and I get enthusiastic about, and they're surprised. So the how is the part that we do not ask. Okay, the how is just little me trying to be in control.
Yes.
It's okay. All right. Like, because my little me got hurt, then any surprises, man. So
I hate surprises.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love them.
That's little me.
Yeah. So that's the part because God says, yeah, I have ways of doing that are beyond your knowing or beyond your finding out. Oh. So how is the question to be avoided? Because your 5 senses are only going to bring you back answers that are of the 5 senses, which is, you're crazy, this is impossible, physics, math,
Give up.
Blah.
Yeah.
So we don't ask how. Great question.
That might be new and different for some of our people on the call, but that's the exciting part.
Yeah, that's okay. It might be a little difficult. It might be the most difficult thing you ever do, is not know how.
Yeah.
But when I do it, my miracles manifest very fast.
Yes. Yes. So that's what I encourage all of you guys to do, is start off at however big or small as you choose, and really use your faith, use your mustard seed, use your love and your faith for yourself, for your life here, and move things, but make them real here first.
Good news, just a mustard seed will do.
Yes. I heard they can move mountains.
Yeah. My mustard of faith. Yeah, love is the only force that's going to be able to transcend any of my right or wrong, or move a mountain into the sea. It's the only true force.
Whew. I love that.
So if you're having trouble naming the tune, that's okay. Come talk. Shoot us a message. We can help.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
We can help.
Could be absolutely not.
Oh.
Absolutely yes.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah. So you, me, we already have everything we required, and we can have all our dreams.
As simple as that.
It's not about the others. It's about me first.
Yes.
Me
and that first. Alignment with yourself.
Yes.
That oneness with yourself.
Yeah, and then I can help others.
Yes.
Align.
Yes.
And that's the fun part.
Because just like in the work that I've been teaching in my other series, is, we get first ourselves, and coming back home to us, and remembering what has been dismembered by our fear, by our struggle, by our suffering, and then we translate that into more and more upgrades and bringing it to, and community is that, and we get to share, and we get to be one with ourselves and one with our community.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
And I be in a line with my outcomes, with my goals,
Yes.
with my dreams.
Yes. Awesome.
Awesome, Dr. Steph.
Well, I think that's that's a fantastic place to start.
Yes.
I am so excited that we're going to get this out here. So everybody watching, if you have any questions, leave comments, send us messages. We'd love to dive deeper with you guys on anything that you're working on, help you get specific. That's definitely the biggest thing here, is specificity, and remembering that what we say, what we think, what we feel is what shows up in our world. So you get to choose what that is and you get to make that real. So thank you everyone for watching, and look forward to talking to y'all soon.
Bye, y'all.